The Democratic Party has done an incredible job of deceiving us all into believing that they truly care so much, so deeply about black and brown people. People of color are represented within the Democratic Party when in truth, they only see you as lesser than. They see you as incapable. They see you as an infant, as a child. They infantilize you on a day-to-day basis. They pander to you, selling you on the very lowest of the lowest of imagery, such as Meg the Stallion twerking at a political rally. That's how they see you. You better thank a union member. That's how they see you. They cannot see you beyond the monolith. They cannot see you beyond the stereotype that they have created of you, and therefore they pander to that person who they see as less than human. So that being said, I want to get into a video, an oldie but yet a goodie, showing you just how real this is. And I was inspired to get into this video off of another video that just recently went viral that I will get into after this. But speaking of essentially voting ID or voters ID and this democratic idea, or the quote unquote democratic idea that voter ID is racist and it stops many people from being able to vote because it doesn't take into consideration that black people don't have IDs. Yeah, I know. Literally insane. So let's get into it.
I'm Ami Horowitz, and I'm here in Berkeley, California to find out if voter ID laws suppress the black vote. Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely.
Tell us how.
Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with education.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service.
Not the British dude believing that black folks ain't got act. Do you know who is chronically on the internet more than anybody else in this damn country? You cannot make this stuff up, folks. But again, this is the left. This is their virtue signal. This is their Oh, and this used to be a huge subject, right? On the left. Now it's about the immigrants. We need to make sure that those who come here unlawfully, right? The undocumented, cute little phrasing, another word for illegal, alien. We need to make sure that they are able to vote as well. Why? Why should they? Oh, because that's the only way y'all will continue to actually be in office. Because basically everybody else is caught on to what the hell you're on to, and instead you want to find a new group who you pander to, and who you sell on this idea that, you know, you are giving them all of this stuff because you care about them, not because you want to grasp onto power forever. In the words of Lyndon Baines Johnson, we will have these niggas voting Democrat for the next 60 years. Now, he never accounted for the illegal immigrants, so I'm guessing that's what they're on to now. On to the next one. On to the next. My God. Yeah, let's just continue with this. Let's just continue.
Service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works. A lot of people have.
Oh, I was not expecting that. Oh, 4K. Can we go back? Can we go back? Can we go
To
back?
be able to pay an internet service provider for
Okay, what year was this, by the way? What year? Oh, 8 years ago. Fantastic. So did black, okay, can somebody answer this? When did black people in America learn how to use the internet? Was it in, I do like an ABC. All right, so answer number one. Was it literally yesterday? Answer number two, since the internet basically came into existence for the general population? Or is it answer number three, 7 years ago, which is a year after this video? Which one of those answers do you think is correct? Let me know in the comments below, A, B, or C.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
Do you see the smugness in that woman's eyes, the face? My goodness, guys, what is... Oh, you poor, poor thing. You literally don't know how to do anything for yourself. You're a victim. Let me latch on to you and your causes so I can get some attention too. Good Lord, have mercy.
I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is out there just because they're not.
Do you know who's got all the data? And who's using up all the data? Let's be real now. Let's be real.
Aware or like they're not informed.
I also think there's a repression of like black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, like you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing.
No. Folks, it has been close to 8 years since I first saw this video. It's actually one of the videos I watched during my awakening experience from around 2016 to around 2018, 19. It was my grand awakening, right? Before I let the public know, because I was still deeply afraid of being canceled and, you know, all this other sort of stuff that we make up in our heads like it actually matters. But well, not making up the cancel part. You're really getting canceled if you're a conservative, probably still to this day. I mean, people losing their jobs and their kids getting taken away from them. However, yeah, I forgot just how revealing this little piece of content is. So I'm glad that I'm bringing it back to life. I think we should do more of this. I think we need to dig into the crates of wokeness, and we need to just resurface a whole lot of this BS in order to remember exactly who we're dealing with. Let us never forget. This is to my fellow red men out there, my fellow red ladies out there, my fellow Republicans and conservatives. I will be making my own personal commercials for every single political season, simply by sitting my behind on this chair and doing exactly what I'm doing right now. So this is a free commercial for y'all. Trump, you can use this right now if you want. This is who these people are. Can't make this up.
Swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the like African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people
This is good.
their thoughts
This is really
on what
good.
you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
She answered that like, why? Who needs to know? Why? Who are you? What do you know? Do you know about my data usage? Do you know I use all my data already?
ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No. Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID, so like, we know what we need to carry.
That's a college student, by the way. Black man, you know? Well, you know, because of the incarceration. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I got one for you. I know y'all missed this one. I know y'all missed this one. I know y'all missed this one.
In front of a white audience, and then she's speaking in front of a predominantly black audience. She changes her accent to be like...
This is on the same day.
This is on the same day. Listen to this.
Go ahead, Rob.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave.
Yep.
You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Some extra eyes in there.
You better thank. Yeah, and then the other one, Rob, this is, but brother, there are white people that
So we're going to grab lunch, 2 drinks, and head to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, watch this. Pittsburgh.
Thank unions for sick leave. Thank unions for paid family leave.
Oh, so she knows how to say thank. Not thank. Not you better. You must thank unions. You better thank. Okay. So yeah, just a little jogging of the memory, a little refresher for us all, just in case you forgot. Yeah, that's how they see you.
Around.
Everybody that I know have ID. Like, that's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right?
That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know.
If there's anybody that knows how to get to the DMV, you know who you are. If there's anybody who knows how to work at the damn DMV. So it will be difficult for such a demographic to not be able to get there when a lot of folks are working there in the same demographic. I'm just saying.
What's that? On 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is, Ranu?
That brother called out the address. He says on 25th Street. That's the dude I would go to if I was in New York, needed to get anywhere. That brother knows everywhere. Oh, yeah. Bodega off of, yeah, it's right there by Marlon Street, by Malcolm X Street. Oh, wow. Damn, you are better than Waze. You gonna get me? Yeah, you got to make sure don't take this alley, take this way, because if you go this way, you're gonna get hit by. So, yeah, make sure that's how you get to the spot, son.
It's on 125th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Did you have a problem getting there if you had to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
Yep.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly?
That should be all of us right there. Like this, if you give your local white liberal this look this way, like one of these looks this week. Give him one of those and see what you get back. Oh my goodness, like especially if you black. Oh my good. Oh my, you guys. I'm so freaking sorry. My white privilege is showing.
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data?
Mm-hmm.
You can actually
Unlimited.
Unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception of black people?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's why my thought process on it.
I just think that's ignorant. Ignorant.
Ignorant. That's the word I'm hearing a lot. Ignorant.
Very, very ignorant.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because, you know, you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit of racist in it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You're judging somebody, like, well, you're judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it.
What people are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
That's the problem. They're only talking to themselves in their echo chambers. They've never actually been around these people. I lived in the Bay Area. Story time. I lived in the Bay Area, and you know, there's a lot of money in the Bay, especially if you go to places like San Jose, San Francisco, you know, Palo Alto, etc. A lot of money in some of these places, Cupertino, etc. And there are people who have never been exposed to half of the BS that they are espousing. This is what's happening with poor people. This is what's happening with black people, brown people. These ones, though, they make up names like Latinx amongst themselves, and the Hispanic folk had never once talked about no damn Latinx. That's a level of elitism and hubris that these individuals have. We know what's better for you than you do. What happened when Trump became president? Not the realization, the actualization, coming to oneself, enlightenment. Oh, I get it. Real Americans want America first. No, instead they said, how dare you, you ignoramus. You do not understand the things that matter most in this world. Is making sure that the kiddos have access to drag shows. Huh? Yeah, also making sure that the kids know that they are safe in their non-binary descriptive labels. What the huh? What? No, we just give, what are the eggs? The eggs, remember the border, like we told you, we literally said it. This is why you know Trump is just a businessman, period. You tell a businessman what you need and he's going to sell you that. We want the border closed. I will close the border. Big, beautiful wall. Close the border. He will do exactly what you said. That's business 101. As a politician, you don't have to necessarily follow up on nothing. You're getting paid just basically to cap. As a business person, you only stay in business because you are actually able to meet a demand. So you create supply for a specific demand. We want the border to be closed. I will close the borders. Close. Shut. Oh, he closed the border. Wow, he did exactly what he said, what we wanted. Imagine that. Imagine that. And I was going to say that's what we pay for, but bruh's not even taking a paycheck again for the second time. It's like every other politician has become a millionaire off of being president. He's literally lost more than $1 billion off being president. That's crazy. But anyway, let's get to the original clip that brought me here, that inspired this about me. We're going to have the Black Einstein explain to us, exactly the same phenomenon, how they're basically trying to eliminate certain laws when it comes to voter registration. Voter registration is absolutely racist. Let's see.
Okay, so like what?
Well, we could eliminate all voter registration laws. See, when Democrats get in charge, we try to protect voting rights. We don't make voting easier. Now, I'm all for voter eligibility requirements. We might disagree about what those requirements should be, but I'm going to say that there should be an age limit to vote. I might say 16, you might say 18, but I'm not going to say 8, right? Mm-hmm. So we're going to agree that there.
You're a fool if you say a 6. I'm already questioning most 18-year-olds. You are a damn fool to say a 16-year-old. But I know what he's getting to. Perhaps maybe there are some people who come here, illegally, and that we give all handouts to. We give billions of dollars of America's taxpayer money to, who we then coerce into voting for us. Sure, maybe they're able to vote as well. In California, where I voted for Trump, yes, our president. He's your president too. Yeah, when I voted for that guy right there, Trump, who is now president, our president, I was not asked for my ID, and I actually heard that you weren't allowed to even show your ID. Yeah, it's real. It's real, folks. I was there. I was a participant in it, though I didn't want to. You're not allowed to show your ID. Who does that benefit? And why is it that the only places that Kamala won where it mattered, besides the swamp that is DC. And somebody said we should stop calling it a swamp because a swamp is natural. There's beauty in there, etc. They said what we need to start calling it is the sewer, because that's exactly what it is. It's where all feces goes to congregate, right? But besides that place right there, who voted 92 to 93% for Kamala, their little puppet, we also had some of the major cities where there is no voter ID for, voter registration, right? Well, you don't need the ID. You don't need to show a damn thing. You just kind of, turn in the ballot and hope for the best, that sort of thing. Same California, who took the longest in counting their votes. I wonder why. Wouldn't be because you were too busy cooking those damn books, was it? But I digress. Let's let Black Einstein continue. And that's, I know it's an insult to the literal Einstein, but, that's what it's giving.
There should be voter eligibility requirements, but once you're eligible, why do you have to pre-register? Why is that even a thing? It wasn't a thing in this country at the founding. We didn't have voter pre-registration in 1787. We didn't have voter pre-registration in 1821. We only started having voter registration, generally speaking, after the Civil War. Why do you think that is? It's because a bunch of freed African slaves were migrating up.
That was the Democratic plantation, who was fighting against the right for black folk to vote in the first place. The Democratic plantation. Exactly. You get it. They're the ones. They're the ones. And now they're the very same ones trying to get rid of that in order to keep power. You see how that works. See how that works. The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment were not brought into law by the Democratic Party. They were in opposition. They fought against it tooth and nail. And they literally unalived the man who did it. Shout out to my guy, Abe. You're my GOAT. You'll always be top 3. I don't know who else can. Trump is in my top 3 now. Like, the dude has been following through, and he's in my time, so I was there. It's kind of like Jordan. Like, Abe is my Jordan, but I grew up watching Kobe or something. So, Trump is my Kobe. Abe is my Jordan. Okay. I wasn't around to watch it all, but I saw the highlight reels and it was incredible.
North, and all of a sudden New York was like, we need some registration up in here, right? A bunch of immigrants from Europe, mainly Ireland and Italy, were coming to New York. People were like, oh, we need some registration in here. If you're eligible to vote, you should be automatically registered to vote, and that is how they do it everywhere.
Even Al Sharpton is looking at him. The race hustlingest race hustler of all race hustlers. The godfather. I actually made a video. Make sure to go watch it. It's called The Godfather of the Race Hustle. And it's about Al Sharpton and the Tawana Browley case, where he first built his way into where he is now, which is funneling millions of dollars out of white grievance into his own pockets.
Where else but us. Everywhere else but us either has automatic registration or some other form of forced registration for everybody so that you don't have this disconnect between eligible voters and registered voters. That's the first law in the book that we could change. And it's to see how that's different than just saying we have to protect.
Oh, he's selling a book. Who is this guy? I've never heard of him a day in my life. Who is this guy? He's selling a book. Is it on E equals MC? Oh, hell no. You know I'm here with the foolishness today. E equals MC? Hell no. That's who this look like, the Nutty Professor, don't he? Don't this look like the Nutty Professor? Wait, let me see. This kind of look like one of the clumps. Don't he kind of look like a younger version, like a older version? Kind of looks like look at that. Y'all can't tell me. I mean, he needs a little bit more of a mustache, sure. He looks like a young, or like a old. He looks like an old Eddie Murphy in costume. Amazing. So yeah, folks, that's them. You know, those poor black people, they have no idea how to go onto the internet. You know, all of y'all who are currently watching this, all the quote unquote black folk out there watching this, I don't know how you're doing it. You must be part of like the 1% club or something, you know, to be able to access the internet and have a voter and have an ID card. I hope one day you find your way to the DMV. That's all I got to say. I hope one day. We can only hope. We can only hope. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3-6-5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up, you know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises, you get to praising.